Okay, this is the outgoing partial payments by partial payment method. We have seen residual method. Now we will see partial payment method. In partial payment, the original invoice, after being applied with the partial payment of 400, the original invoice will still be outstanding. Alright, it won't be settled. That's the main difference between residual method and partial method. In residual method, the original invoice will be settled, but in partial payment method, the original invoice will not be settled, but we'll just take into account the partial payment of 400. I'll show you how. I need to create a new invoice now. B60. $1,000, no tax, cost of sales, simulate, enter, okay, post it. This is the document, invoice document 1911. We go to F53 now and choose the document date. Choose the bank account, partial payment of 400 again, open item selection 4001, press enter. So this is 11, right? I'm going to clear the cash discounts, cleared. So now I'm going to use this tab here because I'm in this topic now, outgoing partial payments by partial payment method. So I have to choose this topic here and double click and enter the partial payment of 400. This is the partial payment that I'm making. Alright, you see not assigned is 600. Yes, that's right. Just simulate, and it requires a due date. Just enter the due date. You know what to do. And simulate again. Right, see, cash of 400 is applied for this vendor A, and it does not created a new invoice for the balance amount, which is a residual amount for 600. We'll just post this. It's posted. Let us go to FBL1 and refresh. Alright, you see here, it's the invoice, right? It's still outstanding. Even after you post a payment of 400, it is still outstanding. See, this is the payment that we made, 15,003. This is the payment that we made. 400 is still here, so both are outstanding. But since you apply the payment of 400 to this invoice, there is one field which will state that 400 has been applied to this invoice. There is one field. It is called invoice reference. Let me pull out that field. Invoice. Yeah, this is the one. See this? If we go to this invoice reference for this clearing document, 15,00003 is a payment document. The invoice reference is 1911, which refers back to cross reference to this 1000. Alright, for this document, the invoice reference is a document itself. There's no difference. Okay, when there is a difference, then you just take note that is cross-referencing the second document, which is this. In this case, the payment document is 15,003 and the invoice reference is 11. So this is cross-referencing to this 1000. Because remember, when you make the payment here in the payment screen, you selected this invoice to apply against this 400. So that therefore the invoice reference field has been updated with this invoice number. So using this invoice reference field, you can actually determine to which invoice this payment was applied to. So from here I know that this 400 is applied to this invoice. But one thing about partial payment method is that both the payment document and the invoice document will be outstanding. Okay, so how to make it settle? How to settle this invoice document so that I can move to the cleared section? You have to do this. You have to make a balance payment of 600. Let me make a balance payment of 600 again. This is the second payment. Let's say we are paying the vendor again sometime later for the balance amount. Just choose the cash in bank 600, and the account is this. I post it in the normal way. I just clear this, go to partial payment. Again you have to go to partial payment because this is the second payment, second gradual payment for the remaining balance of 600. Right, I simulate, asking for the due date, enter the due date, simulate again. So now I post it. We go back to line items and refresh. So you have two documents now. This 600 is the document that I posted just now, 150004. So now all three documents are outstanding. Even the invoice is still outstanding, right? But you know for a fact that, let me pull out the payment invoice reference again. You know for a fact that this invoice is settled because you have made two payments, because both of the payment document is referring to this document here. So these two documents, 400 and 600, is for this. So but all three are still outstanding, so there must be a way to settle all three together, right? You have to do using this T code. Exit this, go to accounting, financial accounting, account clear, this one, right? Accounts payable clear, F44, choose your vendor account, right? Then process open items, press enter, and you will see all three documents here. This one, just clear the cash discounts, this one, and this one. Sorry, no, not that one. This one and this one, 13 and 14. Alright, see here, the 3 and 4, right? So 3 and 4. So I'm going to select these three together. So the difference is nothing. So I'm combining all these three documents together and clear it together. For this kind of clearing, there will not be any double entries. That's why it's blank. Because this is just a technical posting, so that we can make these three documents as settled. Since this is a technical step to turn the red light to green, there will not be any double entry. So that's why it's empty here. Just post it. Exchange rate difference key. It's asking for some text. Just put test. Simulate. There should not be any exchange rate difference key calculated here, but for some technical reason the system is writing a line, but then again the amount is 0. Just save it. See, 100014 is posted. Now let us check what is in this document here. I go to FB03. Since this is a clearing document, there will not be any postings. It will just be empty. Alright, see, there's no double entry. This is a technical posting, but that posting, that clearing posting, make sure all three documents are cleared and come here. 315.3, yeah, these two are cleared now. See the green light here, and the invoice is also cleared. It's the invoice, right? So you have to do this additional step of clearing, which is this, only for partial payment, which is this. Let me add on and write here. Fine. After the remaining balance of 600 is paid, you have to clear all three documents together using F-44 clearing function. You know what is F-44? This one, right? See here, clear vendor. Yeah, once you have made the balance payment of 600, you have to clear all three together to make sure is settled. This invoice is settled. That is the disadvantage of using the partial payment method, right, as compared to the residual method. In residual method, once you make the payment, the balance amount is created as a new invoice and the original invoice is cleared on the spot. Alright, all you have to do is just make the balance payment for the new invoice, as though like you are making a payment for full payment for invoice, and this will be settled as well. That's the difference. Actually, you can propose both method to the customer, which method they want to choose to apply the partial payments, and let them decide. Okay, you would explain the pros and cons of both method.